Welcome everyone to the Six Pennies podcast. A lot of you might be, joining us for the first time today, or you guys have been listening to us now for the last 3-4 months. But thank you to everyone who's been listening to our podcast. Right now we have Jonathan and Timmy on the line. How are you guys doing?
What's up? Ready to go?
Doing pretty good.
Cool. The reason why, we're reintroducing ourselves, if you will, is because we have some really exciting news for everyone today. After about 5 months and recording like 60 or 70 different episodes, we have our first official sponsor of the podcast. How do you guys feel about that?
I'm hyped. I'm ready to hear who it is.
Rolling in the dough right now.
Yeah, we are now worth more than 20 cents. And it's amazing. Like we actually have some cash flow now. But our first sponsor is Derek Shaw and his company, Farmers Insurance. Yeah. So because D Shaw is sponsoring us, our episodes now can be found on not only YouTube, but it can also be found on SoundCloud and iTunes, which gives you the option to subscribe to us and listen to us any time of the day. And the best way to follow us, I would say, is just go to our Facebook page. It's Six Pennies Podcast. And on our Facebook page, you can hit the like button, and you'll get, all our new posts, photos, episodes, things like that. Today's episode of the Six Pennies Podcast is brought to you by our friends at Farmers Insurance and Derek Shaw. Don't be caught unprepared the next time there's a flood or hurricane, or if you're in a car accident. Get a home, life, and auto insurance quote today. Derek's eagerly awaiting your call for a free consultation. Please check out his Facebook page at facebook.com/Derek Shaw Insurance, DEREKSHAW Insurance. And he can also be reached at 214-729-6462.
All right. So if we were going to use a restaurant analogy, I'd probably say the first 4 or 5 months of this has been testing, practicing, learning, kind of like a soft opening for a restaurant. Well, today then is our grand opening, and to celebrate this occasion, we're going to do a pretty different episode where it's just going to be about us. I know people are very excited to learn all about us, who came up with Six Pennies Podcast, what it means, everything else. We have a bunch of different questions we want to ask each other just so you guys can get to know us. So first of all, Six Pennies Podcast is something that Mock came up with. Mock, where did that come from?
So it pretty much stemmed from my love of Penny Hardaway, and I just had him on my mind, like I always do actually. And we were talking about coming up with different names, just brainstorming, having a brainstorming session, and I was thinking along the lines of 2 cents each with the three of us. So came out of 6 cents, and then 6 pennies came out from that. That's pretty much it. So just 3 guys giving 2 cents each.
So in terms of our podcast, we are trying to release about 2 episodes per week, typically Tuesdays and Thursdays. And Thursdays is a segment where we take some questions from our listeners, and we call that our Pocket Change segment. And Mock, you came up with that too, right?
Yeah, that was just something that I was throwing around. We were talking about different ways to get more just interaction with the people who are actually listening to the podcast, outside of 3 of us, obviously. So we came up with a couple giveaways, and for each of these giveaways, the only way to enter for a chance to win a random prize, we gave away a Starbucks gift card first, and then we gave away a pair of VR goggles, and we just had our third kind of mini giveaway. And so we still have a prize to give out there. But for each of those giveaways, we just have people comment in on things that they would just like to hear about, just random topics that we could go through. And Thursday is our designated pocket change day, where we go through that pocket change. We just kind of throw some change out at those questions and see what sticks.
Yeah, and for those who want to enter this giveaway, just go to our Facebook page at Six Pennies Podcast. Don't forget to like us, and then leave a comment, whether it's a question or a suggestion on any topic you want to hear. So let's go ahead and dive into us real quick. So Mock, you are out in Houston. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and your family and things like that?
Yeah, sure. I'm a new, I was just going to say new dad, but I think that role goes to Timmy now. He's a much newer dad than me now. But I'm a new dad. My kid is turning 11 months this week.
Wow.
So his 1 year birthday's coming up. We have a lot of work to do if we're gonna come up with anything to celebrate that 1 year birthday. I'm not big on it just because we're not big believers in celebrating birthdays with him until we're for sure that he's going to remember them later on. 1 year doesn't qualify for that. But yeah, I'm married to my wife, Avilia. We've been married for, almost 6 years now. And live in Houston, born and raised in Houston, and residing specifically in Sugar Land, Texas now, which is about 20 miles south of Houston.
And you have a really exciting job as an accountant, right?
Yeah. If you guys saw that movie with
Ben Affleck,
Ben Affleck, you kind of get a good gist of what my job is all about.
And then on our West Coast sector, we have Timmy Chu. How are you doing out there in sunny California?
I'm doing okay. A little under the weather, so hopefully you guys don't hear me sniffling. But yeah, I mean, I'm from Houston as well. I grew up with Mock in Sugar Land, but
Clutch City.
Clutch City, indeed. Well, not right now, but I've lived out here in LA for 10 and almost 11 years now, straight out of college. It's been kind of crazy. But my wife and I, like Mock said, we just had our first child, our baby Zachary. He is a little over a month old, and
wow.
Yeah, I might fall asleep during this podcast because of it, because he's a handful. But I work for Coca-Cola out here. I work in marketing, and again, I've been with Coke for about 11 years. Pretty crazy.
Such loyalty.
Is Coca-Cola the most iconic brand in the world?
Yes, the answer is yes. Unequivocally. Yeah, I mean, they have like the Forbes brands, best brands and stuff, and Coca-Cola is still number one. It's the
Wait, is it really?
Most
is it really number one?
Yeah, it's the most recognized logo in the world outside of the cross.
Wow.
And then Albie, you're over in Dallas.
Yes, I'm in Dallas. I am about to get married this year. I'm still a little behind you guys. Need to get married and then have a kid, hopefully very soon.
Wow.
But I'm in Dallas out here. I work as a delivery manager, which is basically an account project manager type, trying to get stuff done with business operations in the healthcare space. Outside of that, I work from home, so now I can record, all these Six Pennies podcasts for our sponsors and our listeners.
Full time.
Hopefully my employer didn't hear that, but
yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if you want to say that on this first pod, but
yeah. In my spare time, outside of podcasting, I like to play a lot of basketball with my friends. A lot of our more devoted listeners are the same guys I play basketball with on a weekly basis. So they're always asking me, what we're gonna talk about next, or how do we record and things like that. So it's been really fun, and I hope to continue going strong with Six Pennies podcast.
That sounded very political there. That's great.
You just never know, man. We might get bought out, and then you guys might team up on me 2-on-1. I don't know, So
wow.
I'm just happy to be cash flow positive right now with 0 expenses and a sponsor on the books.
Yep, exactly.
I think, speaking of basketball, I think our friendships have been, I don't know, probably 90+% based on basketball, at least for a big portion of our lives. I don't know about you guys. With Mock, he and I grew up playing basketball together when our parents had their fellowships or little small group gatherings. We would play Nerf basketball in each other's rooms, or we would trade basketball cards. We would play outside. We played NBA Jam. It was a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I still remember playing basketball on your driveway. I remember this random trip my parents took. I think it was the only one they ever took, just the two of them, while we were growing up, and they kind of just left on a cruise or something to the Bahamas and abandoned me, and I just ended up at your house somehow, and that was a fun weekend though. A lot of Nerf basketball, a lot of foosball, a lot of driveway basketball too.
That's one of my lasting memories of Mock, actually, was that week or that weekend, because you're a year younger than me, and I don't know, for some reason you're always a little, I don't know what the word is, but
just say
the
word.
one thing that the one thing I remember is that we were kind of hungry and we wanted to go inside for a snack, and Mock is just trying to figure out what to eat, so I gave him a bag of Cheetos, and he ate one Cheeto, and he's like, "That's cool, I'm full." I don't know why. That's something that I just will always remember about Mock.
I'm just a minimalist. I know what I like, and that's all I need.
Yeah, it's funny how you mentioned basketball kind of brought us together because that's how all of my friends actually even today is how I make friends is through the basketball court. Whether it's like basketball first or basketball later on, but even like my coworkers now, we go on like a weekly basketball meetup, and that we've grown a lot closer recently because of basketball. With me and Timmy, I just remember playing like these crazy horse games in LA, like 2-on-2 horse. Those were really fun, where you had to include, your teammate. So you have to pass it to your teammate, and then he has to score or something like that. And then Mock and I, we played a lot, obviously, at Gregory's, and honestly, I really miss playing basketball with you guys. Hopefully, we can do that soon. Maybe at my bachelor party.
Yeah, has Timmy confirmed yet?
Timmy has not confirmed. He has
no,
not committed.
No comment.
I'm pretty upset about it, but
I don't know why you're upset, man. You gave the deadline
too late
June
of
15th.
You gave too late of deadline.
He's actually the only person that remembers, because I didn't even remember I set the deadline for June 15th.
I looked it up like 3 times to check and see how much time I had left to decide. So
down to the wire.
It's on there. Hey, speaking of those horse games when we played in LA, the best thing about that is we played out. It was like an outside court right by the beach, which I just loved, and I got really good at those rims and just shooting fadeaways there. That's like the only thing I could do. But I think the only reason why I could make those fadeaways is because Mock on the driveway I had at home, it was like on the side of the driveway, so all we had was really baselines. Going straight out to the basket, you'd only get like the free throw line or something, so you couldn't shoot the fadeaways from straight ahead. I could only do it from the baseline, just like Hakeem. So I think that's why I got good at it.
Just like your boy Shane Battier. That's where your Shane Battier game really developed.
Yeah, I guess unknowingly, I just started shooting those hook shots from the baseline. That's just the way it goes.
So speaking of, basketball and sports, what would be each of y'all's favorite sports teams?
I mean, I'm all Houston, so anything Houston, I'm rooting for them all in, all heart. Championship or bust for every team.
So out of Houston, if you had to choose which championship would mean the most to you, would it be the Astros, the Rockets, the Texans, or the Dynamo?
Yeah, that's crazy. I've actually been thinking about that exact question like a lot recently. I'm like, if I really had to choose, like with no history, right? Like assuming like the 94, 95
with history.
Rockets.
With history. So here in 2017, knowing that Houston Rockets already have 2.
That is Astros, hands down.
So Astros. Okay, what about you, Timmy, since you're from Houston?
Even though I'm from Houston and I'm a fan of all Houston teams as well, I'm just not as big of a fan of other sports as you guys are of baseball and football and stuff. So for me, it's just Rockets all day. I'm really a specialist when it comes to sports, and I think people hear that on the podcast. Like, I could really go on about basketball and stats and history and stuff, but when it comes to other sports, I'll probably just put it on mute. So yeah, it's just gonna be the Rockets for me. I think that's how I approach like relationships and friendships too. Like I focus really on a few friends and being really close with them. Whereas I think you guys both have larger networks of people that you're friends with, just like you like a lot of different sports.
So let's quickly play the Would You Rather then, Timmy. Since you are a huge basketball fan, huge Rockets fan, and you're just okay with other Houston teams, would you rather have 1 Houston Rockets championship or 3 Houston Texans Super Bowls?
I mean, it would still be the Rockets. Sorry, Mark. I mean, it would be nice to have other championships, but for me, I'm just the biggest fan of basketball, NBA basketball, really. Albie, what about you for Dallas? All your teams there. Which one is going to be the one that you want the championship for?
Yeah, that's a good question. Just like you guys, who are Houston through and through, I'm Dallas through and through. So I'm huge on the Cowboys, the Mavs, and the Rangers, Stars. We have a hockey team. You guys don't. But I will say, if I had to be honest with myself, I would say the Rangers in 2017 would mean the most to me, just because of their recent history, because they've missed it the last couple years where they made it to the World Series and then couldn't pull it in the end. So for me, it's the Rangers. But if we were going with the Mock scenario in a vacuum with no history, it would definitely be the Cowboys football.
Yeah, Super Bowl. I feel like worldwide is the most respected, most well known.
I don't care about that. Who cares about the worldwide thing? It's only about what you care about the most.
Yeah, but Super Bowl's still Super Bowl. Like it's huge. It's a big deal.
I think more people watch those Super Bowl commercials than the NBA Finals.
Yeah, but again, I don't really care how many people are watching it. It's just whatever I care the most about, right?
So if you were like a huge soccer fan, you would only care about the Dynamo, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I respect that. You're just a basketball savant,
Specialist. I told you.
Specialist, gotcha. So let's.
What else do you guys specialize in besides sports? Because we're going to talk a lot about sports in our pods, but I mean, we all know a little bit about other stuff too, right? Albie, you have anything that you're good at?
Yeah, so you're right. We talk about sports. We talk a lot about TV shows and movies, celebrities. Like we've done different celebrity battles, which have been really fun. And also food, places to travel, things like that. I would say my specialty outside of sports would be music. So I love hip hop and R&B and stuff like that. So for me, it would be music. What about you guys?
That's cool. I mean, you don't have anybody to talk to about that. I don't think me and Mock do much music.
Yeah, I might
do a
go
little
rogue
bit.
one of these days and do a 2 cents podcast and just
Two Pennies podcast. You going rogue?
Yeah, just do like a Kanye West 2 cents podcast. 2 pennies.
I won't say expertise, but part of my interest crosses over to that as well. I just say my interests are just pop culture in general. So I probably watch the most TV out of the three of us currently. But,
yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, probably TV and music as it pertains to pop culture. So the stuff that's on the radio, the kind of drama. Somehow I don't know how, but I kind of lucked into or randomly started getting Us Weekly, which has been on my list for the longest time. So I'm like all the way caught up on all the drama right now.
Wow.
When you say you get Us Weekly, you get the physical magazine sent to your house?
Yeah, I just started getting in the mail, and I was like, I don't understand. At first, I thought it was a mistake, but it has my name and everything on it. And
so it's addressed to you.
Yeah, my credit card doesn't get charged. I don't know what's going on. Maybe God gifted it to me. I don't know.
So you know all the latest celebrity news now, huh?
Yeah, I haven't read the most recent one. There's not Katie, but Taylor Swift is on the cover, and it says Taylor disappeared. So that should be interesting. We'll see what snakes do when they disappear.
Yeah, you definitely watch the most TV out of us right now. I think I used to probably watch more TV than both of you guys.
Oh yeah, combined.
I definitely got Albie hooked on a lot of different shows. He used to watch nothing. Probably until we became friends. Also, Albie and I are only friends because of Mock, because of a trip when he came to LA and we all hung out together.
Thanks for the assist.
July 2007.
Yeah, 2007, 10 years ago.
Whoa.
But anyway, I think my areas of expertise then are probably in the movies and TVs, but really around the celebrities and what people have been in. I think I have a pretty decent recollection of like what movies and TV shows that some of the celebs have been in.
And
what about Settlers of Catan?
Settlers of Catan. I mean, let's just make sure not to get people to unsubscribe immediately. But I'm doing pretty well at Settlers.
Okay.
Yeah, Timmy's all the way out there in LA, so he's with the Hollywood gossip and celebrities and all that. Don't you like stalk them on 3rd Street Promenade or something?
No, I don't. I haven't seen celebrities in a long time in LA. I mean, maybe I just don't get out as much.
Should you tell that story of when you saw Kate Beckinsale?
Yeah, that was on 3rd Street Promenade. It's one of the best days of my life where I saw Kate Beckinsale out there with her family. It was a beautiful day, and unfortunately I didn't want to go say hi or anything because her family was with her, but that was probably like 10 years ago, actually.
If you could use one word to describe Kate Beckinsale that day, what would it be?
Glowing?
Radiant.
Okay, that's a new one.
Radiant,
that's close. You used radiant before. I really like that.
Oh, wow, I did.
All right,
yeah, I love you. I love when you tell that story. That's like my favorite story to hear you tell.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, he's gonna tell that story every 5 episodes. So just be ready for that.
Kate Beckinsale is also a sponsor of this podcast.
Yeah, so out of TV shows and celebrities and stuff like that, who are your favorite actors?
Well, I mean, if anybody has listened to our pods before, they probably know that I'm a big fan of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Maybe not for like all his acting chops, but just he's fun to watch. He's in some exciting movies. He's one of my favorites, and I think most people probably know Albie's favorite too, right?
Who is my favorite?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. The Mummy is out. Everybody go
You ready?
to the theaters.
It's not out yet.
Oh, it's not?
No, we're waiting to record our Cruise podcast because of the Mummy. I think it's coming out like next week.
Well, either way, when it comes out, go out to the theaters and support my boy Tommy.
And with the Mummy, between Mummy and Moana, those might be back to back like Cruise and The Rock's worst movies. I gotta say.
Moana?
I didn't enjoy it. Did you guys see it?
Baywatch was pretty bad.
Yeah, I heard Baywatch was awful, but you didn't like Moana? I actually just watched it this weekend again with my nieces. It's pretty fun.
Oh, maybe I needed like nieces there. I think I don't know. I didn't find it funny, and I don't know. I'm glad his name wasn't too attached to it. Like he wasn't acting in it. At least it was just voice acting, so it doesn't bring his legacy down that much. But for me, it just didn't hit the spot.
Who's your favorite then, Mark?
My boy is Will Smith, man.
Still.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's 2017.
That guy can do it all.
But it's 2017.
That guy can he still do it all?
Dude, he's gone platinum. I don't know. Dude, he can do it all. He can do it all, man. Like nominated for Oscar. Like what? Literally, what can't he do?
I mean, what was the last? Tell me when his last good movie was. Yeah, that's
Collateral was okay.
Collateral. Do you know what year that was?
Wasn't that like 2 years ago? Last year?
Collateral Beauty.
Yeah.
I don't think I watched that actually. Is that really good?
I guess it's better than
everything else. Like, yeah, Suicide Squad, Concussion.
Suicide Squad, you can't blame on him. That's just the Marvel. That's just the DC movie.
Wait, you guys didn't like Suicide Squad?
No, it's pretty bad.
Really? I thought it was pretty funny.
I actually kind of liked Focus, the movie with Margot Robbie.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Did you like
that? Wasn't too long ago. That's probably like 2014, right? Maybe.
They have
a couple years ago.
They have like 3 or 4 movies together, huh?
Just that and Suicide Squad, right?
Oh, really? I thought they had more.
Looks really familiar.
I feel like we're dedicating too much time on Will Smith right now.
It's like way too much. You guys want to go back to Tom Cruise or The Rock, or?
No, let's go forward to. So today is also not only our grand opening, but our grand opening happens to fall on a Thursday. So as we mentioned earlier, we do Pocket Change Thursdays. So kind of on that note, for the few people who tuned in today expecting a Pocket Change, let's go ahead and go through a quick Pocket Change question.
Oh, we're gonna do one?
Yeah, just a quick one. We have here listed. We're going to talk about some of our favorite foods. So I thought we could start off kind of the food topic with a question from our friend Jason Wang, very good friend of the podcast, and he asks what our favorite free bread place is. So this is a place, obviously a restaurant you go to where you don't have to pay for the bread. You just sit down and it gets delivered to you, just free of charge.
I would say Jason Wang is a top 3 fan, right, of Six Pennies podcast.
I actually don't know. I don't know who could be above him, to be honest. I think he's our number 1 fan.
So he's like the LeBron James of Six Pennies podcast fandom.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sure he could use a sponsorship in some way, right?
Yeah. Hey, Jason, hit us up. We'll give you a good deal on a sponsorship deal.
Yeah, we'll give you like a free pass to your favorite restaurant with the best bread or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So what place would that be for you, Albert?
I think for me, I love Fogo de Chao. Even though their dinners and lunches are really, really expensive, and it's not very smart to load up on bread because it just takes up space. But that bread, that butter and cheese bread is just like delicious. So for me, it's Fogo de Chao.
Yeah, that was up there for me. That was on my list when I was kind of narrowing it down. But you're right; it's too counterintuitive. Like you're filling up on bread when you should be kind of getting your money's worth on the bottom sirloin.
I I have a little trouble with this. I don't think that there's many places I would go to just for the bread. I mean, it's nice when it's good. The one that stands out to
like
me.
your Olive Gardens, your kind of Red Lobsters.
Oh, so we're
Jeez.
going for those. I mean, Red Lobster
What do you mean
is
by
gotta be.
what do you mean by that, Timmy? We're going for those.
I mean, we're talking about like the national chains, right? I'm not a big fan of those in general.
Jeez.
But yeah, I mean the Red Lobster, the cheese biscuits, the Cheesecake Factory, the brown breads, those are okay. The one that jumps out to me is this place in LA called C&O Trattoria, and they have these amazing little garlic knots that they bring out, and you just they're kind of bite sized, like donut hole size, and you just start eating them, and all of a sudden you've had like 9 or 10, and then they bring this giant plate of pasta for you, and it's pretty crazy. But those are delicious.
Then pasta?
Yeah, you can't resist though because they're so
Wow.
good. They're like coated in oil and delicious.
Yeah, so
Albie, you've had
I'll
them, right?
vouch. Yeah, I'll vouch for Timmy on that. What's even more funny is the waiters and the servers would warn you not to eat too much because it is like it's like super addictive and it's like crack, and it's by the time your real food comes in, you're already full, and so they tell you not to eat too many.
Yeah. Man, I didn't know you were such a hater of chains, man.
I mean, I don't hate them. I just don't think that they're great. I'd rather go to like more local places with only a couple outlets or something where I could get something more unique.
Wait, Mock,
Yeah.
you didn't know that Timmy speaks with his nose up?
I mean, I knew
Super snobby.
LA changed them, but man, this is like true specialist now. Food
I
specialist?
don't think anybody in LA goes to these national chains.
Jeez.
There's so many food options. Like you'd never go to like Chili's.
Man, I miss old Timmy when he would be happy about like double Filet-O-Fish day.
Oh, I go to I go to McDonald's every Friday during Lent to get Filet-O-Fish.
Okay. You're still partly there then.
Oh yeah, I'm still there with McDonald's.
Okay, so my favorite free bread place is a chain, but not a very well known chain. You remember back in the day, Timmy, on Highway 6 here in Sugarland, that place, it was a drive-through fast food Italian place called Fazoli's.
Fazoli's?
Yeah, that place had the best
Breadsticks?
Yeah, they were so good.
What?
I think part of it
your
is
memory
nostalgia,
is
just
failing
because
you
it was
there.
so long ago, and that was back when we were in high school and middle school and didn't have any money. But man, those breadsticks were legit.
So now all our listeners know not to take any eating food advice from Mock.
I do remember.
just-
I do remember in like college when me and my buddies would go out and go drinking and stuff like that. We would love, and this was in California. We would love to go to Olive Garden the day after because it's unlimited bread and soup for like $4.99, and it's
Yeah.
like the perfect hangover cure.
Well, speaking of like all these national chains and restaurants, what are your favorite like fast food places?
Mine's just gotta be. It's gotta be Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
Like,
a good one.
You can't go wrong with that. Whataburger is a very close second though.
Yeah, those two are good. For me, it's a little more local. I don't know if you could say them as national, but I love Golden Chick. I just love their tenders,
Oh man,
their
Oh, gosh.
gravy, and then the most important is their lot of zing seasoning sauce. That sprinkles, man, it's so good.
I've only been to Golden Chick I think once or twice in my life, and both times
Oh.
were probably with Albie. He introduced me to them. He talked about them so much, and I had never had it living in Texas. So I think it was only when I visited Austin or Dallas or something when we went to Golden Chick. My favorite is In-N-Out. Maybe it's an LA thing, but In-N-Out's the winner for me. Chick-fil-A is probably a close second, but those are the top two for sure.
In-N-Out, I feel like how much of that is just due to value though? Like it's definitely a good deal, but I don't know about just overall experience. Because the fries are so bad there.
Yeah, fries. I think the fries are an acquired taste or something that you have to. I don't know. I like them because I've had them for a while. I like to get them extra, like cooked a little bit longer so that they're crispier. But yeah, I mean, I love the burgers themselves too, just because the fresh ingredients and The value's okay. It's not like that cheap nowadays.
For LA, or I feel like it's pretty cheap. Well, how do you get your burgers there then? Do you get them plain or animal style?
I would never get a burger plain at In-N-Out. I think the only people who would do that are people who don't know anything about animal style. Yeah, I mean, you have to go animal style. You also have to go with some chopped chilies in there.
Yeah.
If you really want to get crazy, you get extra toast on the bun. Get a little bit crispier.
Sure.
Is that how you get yours as well, Albert?
Yeah, it's all about, for In-N-Out, I don't think the value is as good as it used to be, Mock, but I would say In-N-Out right now, it's all about the off-menu stuff that you don't know that you could add. A lot of people just look at the menu and it's very simple. There's only like 5 items on there and people just order off of that. But then you don't know that there's all these add-ons that you can do, like Timmy said, the chilies, the toasted bun, the extra, the extra well done fries, stuff like that. Makes it a pretty customizable experience.
I think the people that talk about the value is when they're comparing In-N-Out to Shake Shack. I think that's the big debate out there for a lot of people nationally for what's the best fast food burger. And I for that, definitely it's a way better value, because Shake Shack you'll probably spend like $12 to $15, whereas In-N-Out you can easily spend $5 or $6.
Yeah,
and for me, there's no contest there.
Yeah, so we actually just went to Shake Shack last weekend. There's a new one here that opened up in Plano, and you're right. Like the value itself is not even close. Like it's really expensive at Shake Shack, and the burgers are not as big. But I will say the quality.
It's delicious, though.
Yeah, the quality and the taste is amazing. Like
it's excellent. That bun is so good.
Just everything about it, from like the meat, the quality of the meat, to like how the cheese is melted and all the grease on it. It's really delicious. But I would
still take In-N-Out over it if it was 1-to-1.
But you don't get full off of it.
Yeah, exactly. I would need 2 burgers or like 3 order of fries or like. But the thing with Shake Shack is they serve beer too, so that's a plus. All right, guys. So as you can tell, we've talked through food, pop culture, music, TV shows, movies, celebrities, and sports. That's basically what we're gonna do for Six Pennies podcast. Thank you again to all our listeners out there during the first 5 months, and welcome back, and then welcome to everyone who's like starting to listen for the first time. And a special thank you to Derek Shaw and Farmers Insurance to becoming our first official sponsor.